What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, joined by the gray hat toting
Crush One.
and today we're back to answer more questions that you guys have for us in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. And that is what Shaper did. If Tyranids got a new character to advance their story, what do you think it would be? I would like something intelligent like the Kerrigan from StarCraft, the Queen of Blades.
See, that's the thing about the Tyranids that I feel like would just make them more generic.
Yeah.
Tyranids to me were always primal, animalistic, primitive, that kind of thing. It's like you're fighting an unintelligent race, quote unquote, where there's no negotiation. It's literally fight or flight, honestly, when it's them. And I think giving them that like StarCraft kind of ideology takes away from it.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. That would be I think a mistake if GW did give us a named character that took control of, like, even if it's just a swarm or of a hive fleet. What they are missing, though, from, like, their whole line is just, well, actually, I don't even think they're missing anything. I really like the Tyranids. I like their models. Maybe like a better psyker or a different psyker, because all right now we have his zoanthropes, right?
Right. Yeah, because we had a buddy who used to play Tyranids, but we haven't played Tyranids since like what, 5th edition?
Yeah.
So it was fun playing against a horde army, besides the orcs, because you like when you're fighting the Tyranids, you see as like, okay, so I know they got synapse and stuff like that, so there are weaknesses and there is some type of a game plan to try to fight them. Whereas with orcs, it's like, I feel overwhelmed. But with that being said, yeah, Tyranids are pretty good. They do have some obscure things that aren't really seen on the tabletop because of the way they play. Like, you don't see too many lictors or those like flying gargoyle things, because usually you just want to bring like the Swarm Lord, a whole bunch of Griblies, the what is it, Broodmaw or whatever it's called, the one that bursts out more Termagants and Hormagaunts.
Yeah.
Because that's basically their play style. Overrun the opponent with the Griblies until the big guys go in and finish them off.
Yeah. Ever since November, the more and more I like think about the Tyranids, the more I want to start an army, because of that fact that, like, it's a swarm army and it's very savage and animalistic. Very different than what else is or what else exists in 40K, because everything is sci-fi.
Yeah.
Except for these things. These things are just like monsters.
Right. And if you do want to play like a more intelligent Tyranid race, you got the Gene Stealer cults.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, Tyranids aren't really missing too much. They just need to get bumped up, raise that power level.
Hey, get rid of synapse. I don't like synapse.
Yeah, because it really messes up. Like I said, we used to target synapse creatures, and then it's like they go to instinctive behavior, and it's a lot easier to handle that way.
Yeah. And you take the power from the player too, which kind of sucks. So that's why I don't really like it as a just a thing that exists in the Tyranid Codex.
Right. If you keep synapse, like, just make it do something else, like they get like +1 attacks or something.
Yeah.
More movement. But you know, taking away the fun and the tactics from the player, we've got Dime, whose question is: can Space Marines experience joy, or is their form of joy war?
Right. So, like, they're psycho-indoctrinated to be, I guess, like, joy isn't even, like, satisfaction. Because joy seems like, yeah, like, I love doing this. But there is satisfaction in
slaying your enemies.
Yeah, stoic satisfaction. Right. Yeah.
I go back to that one, I believe it was like a Dawn of War trailer, where you see that Space Marine smiling, and it's like,
yeah,
that should be a meme.
Yeah, I think it is, right?
I think so, yeah. But yeah, they experienced elation or elevated levels of, like, what is it, dopamine, when they're killing.
Yeah.
But not to, like, the point of, like, psychoticness, where it's like, oh, I need to kill to get the voices out of my head. That's chaos.
Yes.
The Crimson Slaughter, to be exact.
Or Blood Angels.
Yeah, I guess you could if they got the Black Rage.
Oh, yeah.
Red Thirst is just Vampires. But yeah, when it comes to Space Marines, it's all about stoicism for the most part.
Yep. This question comes from AK77. Are there any Night Lords in the Deathwatch? Maybe successor chapters. Like you could write lore or homebrew lore to be like a successor chapter of the Night Lords that then becomes a Deathwatch. But no, the Night Lord Deathwatch, like the Night Lords are chaos.
Right. Because the Deathwatch, it's a relatively new faction playability wise, but I mean the lore's been there for a little bit. And they were pretty competitive when, like, if I remember, like last edition. But the thing about the Deathwatch is that there are so many single Marines from different chapters that you could include like a quote unquote loyalist Night Lord that was taken up or something like that.
Yeah. Next question.
I got one from Miguel Perez. Would Primaris Sanguinary Guard need new Artificer armor, or would they just use Mastercrafted armor? Yeah, because, I mean, the thing is, when you cross the Rubicon and get elevated to a Primaris, you get bigger. Like, you literally get taller, your muscles bulge out more. Actually, your muscles become steel, really. And it's almost like a second layer of, like, super tough, durable skin to get to, like, the mushy organs. Mushy. So, yeah, I don't think the Sanguinary armor would fit them, but I'd still think they'd keep their aesthetic, because that's what makes them unique, and what, like, you look at the Sanguinary Guard and you're like, whoa, like, there's no mistaking it. These are Blood Angels, these are Sanguinary Guard, so they got to keep that same look.
Yeah.
Basically put nipples on Primaris armor.
Next question comes from PB Unit. If Recruit ate the Emperor, would he get gas?
Yeah, I think most things would get gas from eating something so psychically powerful.
It's like you eating jerky, because that's what the Emperor is at this point.
At this point, yeah. And it's like that one saying where it's like, oh, if you kiss this person, you're kissing everybody they've ever kissed. Well, the Emperor is just an amalgamation of all those shamans, and that's a lot of gas.
It is. Other farts are your farts now. If you're a Recruit that ate the Emperor.
If.
Next question comes from Isaac Langdon. Do humans living in the Tau Empire have a choice on what caste they are placed in? Can they change what caste he or she is in after the fact?
Nah, they live in a society where it's like you're born in that caste. You're gonna do what you were born to do because that's what you're best at. The only thing where this kind of gets a little convoluted is with the enclaves, because they don't have the ethereal rule dictating, the caste system.
Right.
But even then, we still haven't seen any intermingling. But it would be pretty cool to see like a fire warrior getting it on with like a earth caste. Who cares about what the offspring looks like? I just want to see him get it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like having a squatty, tough Tau would be pretty cool. Not as cool as the sex though. So.
No. Justice777 says, which phrase will get you killed by which faction?
Pretty much praise the Emperor or for the Emperor anywhere else besides the Imperium.
Yep. And then in the Imperium, death
chaos.
to the false Emperor.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what was screamed on for Dawn of War, right? Another thing would be apothecary here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of phrases. They're not a very what's the word? Second Amendment abiding
people. Universe, galaxy.
Yeah. Maverick Azure says, would you guys like a multiverse in Warhammer 40K? I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Nope. I like the fact that it's just the Milky Way galaxy. And, I mean, multiverse, you kind of, like, there could be, well, no, not really. I was going to say the Immaterium could be that, but no, Immaterium is its own thing.
Yeah. Because that's like saying there's different variations of, like, Gilliman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Chaos Gilliman, Gilliman that went to the Tau Empire. It'd be pretty cool to see, like, artwork of that. Like, what would a Tyranid look like if they ingested, all the Primarchs and they had their own version of, like, super Tyranid bioforms.
And what's cool, though, about 40K is that you kind of have something in that you can, like that, in that you can just homebrew your own lore. You still have to put it within the boundaries of what's plausible in the 40K world, But because you have that freedom to create your own characters and create your own factions, there's no need to have a multiverse.
Right.
Because you could create.
You want to make your own Primarch, 2nd and 11th Legion.
Yeah.
You want a Slanesh GF? You can do that too. You want to include Bridget B in the 40K universe? Well, when you look at a Slanesh Demonette, it's your wildest dreams manifested. So there it is.
Yep.
This is by Damned Legion. Question for you guys. I have 2 options to create a second army. Should I go with the Tau or the Thousand Suns? By the way, my first army is Deathwatch.
Tau.
Yeah.
Because they're getting a codex. And they're going to be good.
Oh, yeah. If you've seen the rules, like, they're just getting buffs left and right. They're going to be probably a top-tier army.
Yeah. I don't want to play against you anymore. I didn't even get to play orcs when they were
really good. Yeah.
Damn.
But we'll see. Because maybe it's just good on paper and not actually on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see. And it's not to say Thousand Suns suck. Chaos is actually getting a codex probably after the Tau. Or actually, Thousand Suns already got their 9th edition one.
Did they really?
They did, yeah.
Oh, damn.
So I guess if you want to play strictly Thousand Suns, then you already got the stuff to look at. But yeah, just give it a few more weeks, see the Tau stuff, compare and contrast, and then go from there.
Yeah. Next question comes from Cabal of the Bloody Spoon. Birds or bunnies? Which pets y'all like better?
You've had birds.
Yep.
I haven't had bunnies, but I've had hamsters.
You had bunnies, remember?
Oh, well, we had them for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Because my cousin found some bunnies at the park. So he got the bunnies, he put them in his pockets, and then he rode his bike to my house, fell down a hill with the bunnies still in his pocket, came to my house. I had a terrarium. We put them in there. Some of them were bleeding from their nose, but for the most part, they were all good. So yeah, I have had bunnies for like 2 days before we let them loose.
Yes.
Because they had ticks.
I would prefer a bird. Well, no, because like if you guys watch our old videos,
Oh, you could hear the bird.
yeah, there's a bird in the background of all of our videos. There's even memes, like back then, of like birds becoming part of 40K or something like that. It's just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, apparently there's a meme where you guys don't think birds are real, and they're just like a surveillance thing from the government.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd go with rabbit.
Yeah, same here. I like carrots too, so we can share carrots.
This one's by Anime Sans. Gersh1, do you have a t-shirt that isn't as black as the warp itself? Also, are you double jointed?
No, I like black shirts and I only wear black shirts. And what's double jointed mean?
It's like when you go like this and like your elbow pops out.
Oh, no, I'm not double. I don't think I am. I know that sometimes I do this, which makes my arm look weird on the screen, but...
Yeah, some people are into that kind of fetish. So.
To this?
Hey.
They just... Look at mine, what is this called? Elbow? Is ashy. Next question.
DStonk333 says, which Chaos God would you prefer current... This is what it says. Which Chaos God would you prefer current Earth to fall to? Oh, that makes perfect sense. So if all of the Earth right now could devote themselves to one Chaos God, who would we want it to be? Slanesh.
Of course.
I mean, what other one?
That's pleasure. Then we would basically be living in the
a pleasure
Eldar.
world.
Well, I was thinking more of like the Eldar hedonistic era, like right before the
fall.
Yeah, which was actually more of. Actually, it's kind of scary because there's a lot of killing.
Mm-hmm. Pain, death, killing, excess.
We would want to like push more towards like sex, like orgies. Just go outside, go to Target. There's an orgy happening at Target.
Clean up on all the aisles.
Yep. Because that's what Slanesh is, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, think about the other thing. If we go Khorne, everybody's gonna kill each other.
Right.
If we go Nurgle, everybody's gonna get sick, which we're kind of already there.
Yeah.
If we go Zeech, then it's just a bunch of people backstabbing, which kind of already there. Everything, we're already kind of everything when you think about it.
Yep.
Because that's just the way it is. Humanity was always effed up to begin with.
Yes. Next question.
This one's by Andrea Necci. Why don't the ethereal people want to make the various castes reproduce with other castes? Control. They know exactly what the strengths and weaknesses of each caste is, so they're going to play to those strengths. Because when you start intermingling, then you get mutations, and at this point, they don't know how to take care of that. So they just do what they do best. And if they can't, then that's what the auxiliaries are for.
And it streamlines everything. So if everybody has a purpose, everybody has a role to play in the community, it goes by faster. So it might seem like a negative thing, but I do think like that part of the Tau Empire's like progression through the spheres of expansion and how quickly they were able to get technologically superior is because of this. Like, everybody knows their place.
Yeah. And if everybody knows their place and what they should be doing, there's less people asking questions.
Yep.
Control. Seymour Field says, would you guys choose which Primarch would you marry, and what kind of a spouse do you think each Primarch would be? I would marry Vulcan. He'd make me feel safe. I think any Primarch would make you feel safe, because they're, like, taller than you, bigger than you.
Not Night Hunter.
They can play basketball better than you. That's like is it a Bow Wow song or something like that?
It might be.
Or maybe it's a Jaden Smith one.
I don't know.
Sanguinius, because I mean, he could just fly me to the moon.
Yep.
We could eat spaghetti.
We don't have to wait for Dogecoin to go to the moon.
Yeah, there you go.
I would want Magnus the Red just because he's magic. He could just, I could play with his nipple horns.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would this be like a female version of the Primarch, or would it just
No,
be
it said the Primarch.
Okay.
And we did not hesitate.
Yeah, we did.
In the least.
Next question. I have one from...
Ooh, I got an interesting one.
Okay.
Slack Jr. says,
That's what I was looking at.
will GW allow the Primarchs to grow as characters in their story, such as allowing the Lion to be less insane? Or are the Primarchs locked into their character types? See, that's the thing. I feel like with GW, they've already established who and what the Primarchs represent back in the 30K era. So currently, this is a new era, 10,000 years difference, and I think that should change up the Primarchs, at least what they embody and what they strive to be. But to me, Gilliman's the same thing as he was back in the day. Like, there's no real big difference, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I do think that it would be nice for them to make a little bit of changes in terms of, like, maybe Lehman Russ isn't always trying to pick fights with people, things like that.
Yeah.
Because, like what you said, you would want, or you would hope that there would be change in 10,000 years. But yeah.
But that kind of represents the state of humanity. They did not change. They were always xenophobic. They saw what like they're stagnant. Like, they don't really prosper because of the fear of, like, the Men of Iron and all this stuff.
Yeah, but they regressed. I think humanity has regressed to a pretty bad point.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be nice to see a regression of these characters.
Yeah.
So, like, the Khan comes back, but he's actually a little crazy because he's been hunting the Eldar. Forever.
Not the Eldar, the Dark Eldar.
The Dark Eldar.
The Drukhari.
Yeah.
We just need to see more Primarchs come back to see how exactly it has been affecting them and what changes we do see.
Yeah.
We've been saying the Lion is coming back for, like, the last 2 years, and maybe those rumors were just for the Forge Road model, but who knows?
Yeah. Next question comes from Timothy Armstrong. Have the Salamanders ever fought any other Space Marine chapter? I've only found a few stories where they fought Blood Angels. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember any notable battles that they've had.
I don't even know if they participated in the Bad App War, but I would look there. If they participated in the Bad App War, then yeah,
they for sure have.
Yeah.
I feel like they should, since they're so, like, pro-human, and there's so many other Space Marine chapters that are just like, it's just collateral damage.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. Thank you guys so much for sending those questions our way. If you guys want us to answer more questions, please comment down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, and as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist with
one.
And today we're out.
refuse to put my freedom first in any situation.